It really pays, Terri Hardin here. Hi, everyone. It really pays to hit the button that says live if you're going to go live. Just note to those of you, if I can do this, anyone can do this. So, hello, everyone. How are you doing? Did you have a good weekend? This live is going to be a little different today because, as I mentioned on my Patreon page today with the tribe, I'm full of questions today. I am just completely and utterly full of questions. Again, if you would like to be a part of the tribe, here's where you go. But today in the tribe, I asked them questions because there's this December is celebrate and fix. Celebrate and fix, meaning that we look at the year in the past, we celebrate what we feel in our hearts went right, and we look at the stuff that maybe didn't go so right and see if we're going to fix it. And then we decide whether or not we are going to proceed and do it in the next year, basically, or do we put it on hold, or how do we address what we sort of missed? Okay. All right. So for example, one of the, there we go. For example, I was saying before that my website needs work. I was hoping to have it up by this month, but it's not. I did get further along than I have in a long time. That was number one. So do I continue? The answer is yes. I wrote it down and said, yes, I got to get that up and running and humming really well because it's a very important tool and it's one that a lot of people are missing. So I've got to get a lot of work done on that. What was successful? Well, the most successful thing that happened for me was these Facebook Lives. I am consistent. As an artist, it's very challenging to be consistent. You may have thought that it wasn't that challenging to be consistent. Whoops, excuse me as I spill water everywhere. There we go. Being consistent as an artist is great, but being consistent as an artist and selling it, sharing it with you is not as easy as it looks. It's a challenge. And the reason it's a challenge is because we like to just, well, let me speak for myself. I like to just get in and create it. I'm still working on filming it so you guys can see my processes and stuff. Also, to get up every morning on a Monday and a Friday and buckle down and make sure I'm here for you, it takes discipline. So I feel I was very successful this year on that. So that's a yay. That's a check mark. Goody, goody. I actually could accomplish it because I wasn't sure I could. I also made my Patreon page better and grew it by over 60% of new members. And I'm really happy about that because it means that we're helping each other on that page and we're supporting each other in all of our endeavors. And I like that, especially during a time like all of this COVID-19 stuff, which was really, really, really challenging for all of us, wasn't it? So it's great to be able, oh, that tastes so good. It's great to be able to have a platform like that where we're helping each other. And one of the things that I asked them today was to help me with some questions that I have. And I'm going to ask you guys similar questions, but I'm going to focus on the questions at hand. And the questions at hand that I'm going to ask you is that last Friday when I did the AMA, we had a very small turnout. Now, a couple said that it was because it was December and I had been away for a while. But also Leo Holzer said he was asking most of the questions and that he was getting a little bit tired. And his suggestion was perhaps we rework that and redefine it. So let me ask you out there, there's, as you watch this, what would you like to see the AMA change in the AMA? Would you like them to be shorter? They go like 3 hours long. So maybe you'd like it shorter. I tell myself that because of the pandemic, you want to sit and listen to it, or you want to be able to come back to it. But am I kidding myself? That would be a question. The other question is, how do I change it? Would you like to take a tour? It was suggested maybe you'd like to see some of the books that I've collected as an artist. I have an eclectic collection, not just Disney, but I have an eclectic collection. I also collect skulls because not human. I have a couple of human ones, but they're from bone clones. They're not real. But I do have real animal skulls, and they were humanely gotten. I can explain to you about how, and I can explain to you about why. In a nutshell, the bones are the foundation of the body. And since I'm a sculptor, I need to really know bones. And for me, touching and feeling and experiencing is very important. I do less eyes, more fingers. So when asked if I had to lose when asked which would I lose, my fingers or my sight, well, I don't want to lose either one. But honestly, I use my fingers more than my eyes, but I need them both, of course. So the point is that I could walk you through there. I can walk you through some experiences. And then the idea, and listen if this sounds good to you, and please comment, is that while I'm showing you something, maybe my books that I write process, because I've decided to write 1 or 2 next year. So what is that process? And while I'm doing that process, I answer your questions. Because as you know, I go into your comments and answer the questions anyway. So it was suggested that I do a project, you get to watch, and then I go to the questions here and there, and maybe it lasts an hour or 2 hours. So let me break it down for you so you can answer this with thought. And please don't think that you're dissing me, unless you are dissing me, but you're not. So the first thing is it too long? Would you like it shorter? Would you just like it to be an hour long, 90 minutes long instead of 3 hours? Question 2, what would you like it to be? Would you like to see some of my processes and my projects? Would you like to see past processes and projects as I walk you through it? And then I would go to the comments and answer your questions. Could be about that, could be about anything, but at least you're kind of being visually entertained while we do that. What do you think? Leo can also ask questions too, or collect questions as well. But the point is that I go to the comments for other questions so we could intermingle those and create an overall experience. So what do you think? What is your thoughts? And I would be touching base on all kinds of stuff. I was seeing on the Patreon page that I knit, and I'm suddenly, because it's so cold, my sweater, finally I get to wear my Christmas sweater, is that when it gets colder, I feel like doing knitting and crocheting. So would you be interested in some of those? I have a couple of very unusual. So it's just talk to me about what you would like to hear, tour people I've met, tour places I've been. I don't know. You just let me know. Okay. And I'm going to go over the comments. And then as I listen to what you have to say, you guys can let me know back and forth what you think. So that's what I'm asking you. Next year, I've decided to write my Star Wars book because, as you know, I'm a Star Wars nut, and I sold my collection for quite a lot. And I can actually walk you through my collection because when I sold it, the company that hosted the selling, like a Bonhams, was called Profiles in History. Profiles put it in a catalog for me. So I have my collection in a Profiles in History catalog to look at now whenever I want, you see, and I can show it to you. So if you would like to see that, walk through what I owned, because it's gone. It's now in the homes of people who really will take care of it. It's not that I didn't take care of it. It just was time for it to go to somewhere else. It was worrying me a bit. Collections will worry you a bit like that. Used to be in my house, my collection. My Star Wars used to cover my house. And then I got married and my husband said he would like to have original art up in the house. And I can walk you through some of that too. I've got some very nice pieces and some tools that are exciting. For example, What does this mean and why does it mean so much to me? Oh, you probably need it lit better. This tool right here is my favorite sculpting tool. Why? Why do you think? Well, you wouldn't even know because it has a story attached to it. So we could tell you the story that's attached to that sculpting tool. Just an example of what we can do on the new and revised Ask Me Anything. So I am hoping and encouraging you to give me your suggestions. Let's go and see if you have any. Many of you will say hello. I see you now, Bob. I see you now. I do. That was because on the other one, Bob didn't get seen. Good morning. Hi, Joseph. So Joseph and Michael. Hello, Michael. You miss Disney cruises. I know. But let's talk about Disney cruises. That Disney cruise thing is going to be the thing that's going to take the longest to get back because you can't go far on a cruise ship, right? I was watching a couple of episodes of Whale Wars on the Animal Planet, and a couple of guys got into it. They got angry, because there's not that far you can go on a ship. So we have to make sure we got that vaccine in full swing before that happens again. I think the cruise ships are going to take that precaution to make sure that we're all safe. And then, woohoo, we're on the cruise ship again. Because I do love those cruise ships as well. Hello, Angie. I will listen all day long. As long as you talk, I will be here. Thank you so much. And these kind of comments that Angie Floyd gives, I really appreciate. And I love that. But I also want to know if there's something you would like. This is the month where I try to make it better for you, to be better of service. So that's why I'm asking. I know it's weird, but I've learned that when I want to help somebody, when I want to be of service to someone, I ask, what would you like? What do you think would be cool? Seriously, what you think it would be cool? Yes, I know. Deanna agrees, see? Maybe an AMA once a month, says Melissa. What do you guys think about that? Once a month on a Friday. You want it once a month. And does it last 3 hours if it's once a month? It would be the same time. So Melissa, if I did once a month, Ask Me Anything, it would be like third week or second week, second Friday of the month or third Friday of the month. So that you guys could know when to tune in, even if I don't announce it, which I would, but you would know that the second or the third Friday of every month would be the AMA, So, and would it be long? Would it be an hour? Would it be 2? How long do you think, Melissa? It's a great idea. And the other weeks, maybe how to, or something you're working on that you can show. Oh, I see. Mm-hmm. So you're saying, Melissa's suggesting that rather than making it an Ask Me Anything every week, the Fridays that are not the Ask Me Anything are demonstrating what I'm doing currently or what I've done or book, whatever. And then don't answer your questions. What do you guys think? Majority rules here. Majority rules here. Maybe have a class dedicated to AMA so you show us an art project where we follow along and we can ask questions. I could do that too. Very good, Michael. That's a good one. Where I do an art project where you follow along, I could easily, probably, most likely, in most cases, do that. And what kind, Michael Clarkey, kind of art project would you like to see? See, now you're on the hook for it, aren't you? What kind of art project demo would you like to see? Huh? I'm open to it. I just want to hear what you have to say. I would love to see more of your books and collections. Learning more about your creative process would be fun. But still healing all your stories are the best. Well, Joseph, thank you for that. You can tell that they're never ending, aren't they? It's definitely the never ending story seems to really apply to me, doesn't it? Yeah. But, we can get it more honed in, make the nut a little more focused. It would do me good. Okay, so Joseph says, could be shorter. What do you guys think? And every other week, maybe. So rather than once a month, Joseph is suggesting twice a month. So thoughts? And I appreciate you guys taking the time. Students are taking a test right now, so I can pop in and see you. Hello, Linda. Thank you for popping in and seeing me. This is the perfect time to pop in and see me because it's December. It's my Celebrate and Fix. And today I ask you what you think. The past year we've done this. Do you realize that for the past year, we have done these AMAs, we have done these Facebook Lives, and we have done now, it built up because I don't think I was doing as much as I'm doing now in January. But that was because I asked you and then we altered it accordingly. We're not going to change anything. We're going to add it. So we're considering it being like a big soup and we just add a few ingredients. So we'll, migrate slowly, but it could be a really fun It could be better, maybe. I'm asking you. That's why I'm asking you all. Puppets, aha. Well, Angie, good idea. Puppets would work, wouldn't it? Puppets. Types. And why? How about types and why? And then maybe a how. Could be the story of how I got started and what happened at that journey. It could be the puppet journey too. What do you think, Angie? Terri's puppet journey. It's quite an interesting one, I assure you. Because when you guys tell this stuff, okay, when you guys make your suggestions to me, this helps me out. It helps keep my stories fresh. It helps keep my stories consistent, and it helps me to remember a lot of them. So you guys aren't, passive observers. You really are helping me out. And that's one of the reasons that I'm very proud of being as consistent as I've been, because honestly, I didn't know if I could do that. Also, the other celebration is my multi-camera system. These are beads that isn't this a nice tiered, I love these jars, but these are beads that I use to do decorative ornaments. And when I'm knitting, I put them in my sweaters. And if you want to see, if you're interested in my knitting or my crocheting, I can show you those projects as well. It doesn't have to be all Disney and all sculpting and art. It's all different kind of stuff. And these containers are just so great because they stack and then the beads just are inside like that. But what I was going to say, I got a little distracted, is my camera system is this is what we built this year. And I'm very, very proud of it. I'm very, very proud that I took the time to be with my husband and create this multi-camera system, which he actually helped me create. And I actually agreed to buckle down and learn how to use it. So it's been wonderful because it's helped me to show you things I might not be able to show you. And I'm getting better at it every single day. And the other thing is the StreamYard platform. I've learned how to talk to you, also to simultaneously stream between YouTube and Facebook. So there's a lot of progress I've made, even though it may not be as much as I'd like it to have been. I'm glad I see some definite progress. We can't necessarily hit all our marks, but that's why it's kind of nice to have this last month where I list what I did well and what maybe didn't do so good at. And the ghost happened. The hitchhiking ghost happened. To me, big win. Now that I said that, if you are listening or watching and you ordered a set of ghosts and you need them by Christmas, will you also let me know that? Because my team that was manufacturing them got COVID-19 and they were very sick. Well, I'm happy to report they're better and they're in production. So we are going to just focus on the ones that are needed before Christmas. And then we're going to send all the other ghosts to you in January. So let me know that that's okay. I only have a few sets, but they were so sick that to try and make all of the sets ordered is going to be too hard on them. And I'm mostly worried about them losing quality, and I won't allow that. Every single one has to be mwah. So I would rather do it another month and give you the super quality that I've promised. But if you need them for December, I can do that with a few sets. So if you wanted them for the holidays, just let me know. Okay. That was something that was very, very important that I said. So, yes, David, it's true. David Lewis says Disneyland and Knott's Berry Farm shut down. So sad. It's very true. Because here in the US, we are very, very sick. We are all in the danger zone across all our states. We are in serious, serious trouble. And California is in real trouble because we only have 10% left in our ICU ward. And on top of that, our frontline workers are getting sick as well. So we don't necessarily have as many people to help us get well. Terrifying, but true. So those of us who can stay home will have to stay home and not contribute. Or if we go out, we social distance and we wear a mask. Yes, we know it. And I think most people are doing it. We're just tired, aren't we? We miss seeing our friends face to face. I know I miss seeing you guys face to face. I miss, giving you a hug and shaking your hands and seeing your kids and sharing in your joys, So it gets tiresome, but the sooner we buckle down and the sooner we do this, help is on the way, isn't it? The vaccine is coming. And then we can get back to those cruises, like you say you miss and all that. So, we're doing our due diligence, but it's really scary right now because we really are out of control. And I don't know if we're going to get it back. And I want to get it back so bad. Connie says she'd like to see my artwork and a tutorial on the finer points. Okay, Connie, I'm going to write that down. And you know what? One of the things that you bring to mind, Connie, and I want to thank you, Connie Lane, is that many people can sculpt. I'm writing it down. Artwork. Work. And tutorial on final points. Thank you, Connie Lane. That's wonderful. Okay, so I'm also writing one of my major Okay. So one of the things that Connie brings up is one of my finer points is how important it is to take training when you're sculpting or doing art, because my artwork, many people have said, like we'll take Groot, for example, just really quickly, and then I'll show it to you. This is a great idea, Connie. Is that many people believe my Groot isn't a sculpture of Groot, but Groot. Your sculpture is Groot. When I have it, I see Groot. I don't see an example of Groot. I see Groot. So imagine back when we used to do it, you went into a Hallmark store and maybe there were 3 or 4, say you love angels, which I do. In fact, I want to sculpt a few next year if I can. Say you like angels and you go in and you're looking at all the angels, but none of them strike you in your heart. None of them hit those heartstrings. The reason is because when you train as a sculptor, you learn how to give your pieces a soul, to give them life. And so, like Connie says, that is one of the finer points that I can share. So thank you, Connie. That's really a really nice thing. Your encounters and time spent with Disney Imagineers and other celebrities. Yes, okay. Bob, you're right. That's another thing is celebrity, like in January, I'm about to do a special Ghostbusters talk, and they want to hear about my Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray / Rick Moranis / the experiences I had. Stories that you can't read about in a magazine unless you talk to me, because they happen to me. So that's a good idea. Experiences with Imagineers and celebrities. which is a great idea, guys. Great idea. Had a great talk with Judy Dench that I just love, or Robin Williams, which I cherish now forever, or Bob Gurr, who fell in love with my Stitch puppet and now owns him. Rolly Crump, I can show you a painting he did for me, and I bought. And so, Bob, you have a great, and it's not a humble opinion, it's a good one. Artist choice, LOL. I love you, Michael. You were sweet. Star Wars collection went and was replaced by. Connie, good question. Star Wars collection went, and it was huge. Okay, it was huge. When I met with Profiles in History, which is like a Bonhams or is like a Hamilton collectible, or heritage, not Hamilton, heritage collectibles, and you guys may have come across these auction houses that do that, and Van Eaton. Okay, so Profiles in History is along those lines. I'm not going to say it's like those, because some people have their opinions of which ones they like and which ones they don't. But back in the day, which was 2007, there weren't a lot of places for me to have an auction house, and Profiles in History approached me, actually. And I showed them 3 pieces of my Star Wars collection, and they set aside an hour to look at my collection. Well, when I appeared and showed them my collection, they had to cancel all the other appointments because it took close to a full day to look at my entire collection that I offered. I had been collecting since 1977. And not everything. So you can have a walkthrough of what I sold if you want to learn about it. But to answer your question, Connie, it was replaced with an experience. I took that money and I told my husband I bought a big atlas, and I let my husband put a pin in any country or location he wanted to see. And I took him there for a month, just the 2 of us, for I did a month, and first class. So, and the thing is, while cleaning, guys, I found that journal, because I journal. Okay, so I found that I put that all in a big, like a little box. So it had my journals I wrote about the trip, and it also had the itinerary we took, photos we took, things we did. And my husband was just delighted. In fact, I have to tell my friend Saki Hijiri, who was my tour guide, that I found all this stuff, because I have some questions for him. And see, it's the month of questions. But I have some questions for him, and I'm really great to have found that book. And then there's people I should have written to that were very, very instrumental in that trip. And I had lost this information, and now I can reach out to them and say, sumimasen, which is I'm sorry, but I had not forgotten you. I just misplaced my stuff, which is artist brain. What can I say? So, Connie, I replaced it with first class tickets, and we went to the top northernmost point in Japan, and we worked our way all the way down to Tokyo, where we finished with Tokyo Disneyland. My husband had never seen my art at Disneyland, and I did Splash Mountain Tokyo as an Imagineer. So he got to see that, and he photographed it along with some other things that I had done for the Tokyo park. Plus, I had a meeting with the Tokyo merchandising team there, and they were going to commission me to do sculptures when it took a change. So if you want to know that story, that could be part of the story. We could do that during the MA. Great idea, Miss Connie, and a good question. I love and never get tired of Star Wars and Imagineering stories. Can't wait for your books. Thank you, Joseph. Yes. So I wrote a book. Many of you may know this. Many of you don't. Don't try to find it. It's sold out. You might be able to find the ebook version. Speak, Terry. You might be able to find the ebook version, but don't spend too much for it, guys, because I'm rewriting it based on the people who bought this book. I wrote that first book, Tales from Terri, A Disney Artist's Life is the title of it. I wrote it to see if anyone would read it. And not only did all of you read it, you read it in line and then paid for it because it's a little book. I want to make them easy for you to read. Okay. I'm not really about the coffee table books. I love coffee table books, and I have some great ones, some killer coffee table books. And I've been featured in many books, which is very nice. But I want you to be able to read them and learn. So I did that little book. I did it soft cover, and everybody said, please do hardcovers. So that's the first thing I learned from you all. Then if you happen to find a picture of it, you'll notice I'm in a yellow jacket. Everybody hated the yellow jacket. They said, what the hell with the jacket? You're never in a jacket. So, so that's changing. And then soft covers changing to hardcover because you like hardcovers better. And I'm doing a box set. So I will get that box set finally finished because I'm turning into some dear friends of mine who took forever to write their books. And I'm going to get this one out next year. I really want to do that. So that, and then my Star Wars book, which is super, super important. And wouldn't it be nice if I could get the Star Wars book written so that I could release it on May the 4th? Be with you. Or the anniversary when Star Wars actually did release, which was the 25th. But May the 4th has kind of become more of an anniversary. People celebrate Star Wars more because they love to say, May the 4th be with you. So it might be nice to do that. Anyway, that's a goal for the Star Wars book. And one of the things that I can talk to you about if you're interested is my George Lucas journey, because I have one. I have a George Lucas journey. I also have a couple of other books that I'm collaborating with that should come out next year as well. I did illustrations for them, but I can't talk about them until they come out. So that's something else. There is a ton of things that I could do. And yeah, so I thank you for that. Thank you so much. Janny says, always so much fun. You're doing great with the cameras. Thank you, Janny. But you understand that if I can do something more, I will. And Janny, I have a question for you. I got a piece of luggage that I just love, but it's black. How might I make that not black? Do I create a sticker? Do I create something? I'd like to put my artwork on it so that I know that it's my bag as opposed to it's just being black. And you don't have to tell me in the comments, but maybe we can have a talk. Janny is so good at painting all kinds of things. She paints metal. She paints canvas. She paints all kinds of stuff. So Janny is a great person to ask that question. So anyway, Janny, maybe later you can let me know. You got a big hug coming your way when we can. You got it. Oh my gosh. Miss you guys so much. And Janny's in Canada. We met in Canada. And Janny G and I, we had the best time in Canada along with my friend Ivano. And the three of us want to do a retreat in Canada as soon as we are allowed to, where you get to be with the three of us and have an art experience. So that's kind of my goal as I move forward, is to create as many experiences for you, both here online and off in person. I want to plan for those. Now, truth be told, those that are doing the vaccine say the chances in 2021 of that happening can if it's November, December, but will not if it's any earlier. So I'm hoping that that they are cautious. Okay. I'm hoping they're just being cautious. And that way, maybe it will open up. Maybe the vaccine will work better. The herd immunity will work better. I'm just hoping it happens faster so that I can see you guys sooner. Because if there's one thing I'm tired of, it's not being able to see you guys in person. Seriously, this is good, guys, but I miss you so bad. I really do. So yeah, Janny, if you could help me with that, I can send you a picture of my suitcase and show you. Maybe you can talk to me. It's a non-breakable fibrous material guaranteed for life, and I just can't wait. I just love it. It was a Christmas gift to myself. I got the chance to buy it at a super discount, and I just love it. So, but it's black, and I never have a black bag. In fact, my last bag was a zebra bag, and now I have a bag that has Disney princesses' children on it, and I just love it. And I have a Paris bag that I always buy a new bag when I'm in Paris, a Disney Paris bag, because Disney Paris is my park. So I always buy a bag there. But honestly, the challenge is that the poor Disney Paris bag gets knocked, the absolute dog manure knocked out of it, because for some reason these airline guys always put it on the art side and slide it down. It's it's like, guys, can you do picture side up? But for some reason they never did. And so by the time I get to Paris, it needs to be replaced. So that's, so I got this really amazing bag now, and I want to put my own artwork on it because it's all black. So the question is, how do I do that? So that's and this is what happens on the Patreon page, is that I can reach out to artists like Janie and ask these specific questions. But since she's here, I just took advantage. So I'm working on a sale, says Michael, just like Disney used to do. So Michael, we'd love to see that. Please post it. I would love to see how you're doing that. That paint that they use, cell vinyl, I think it's called cell vinyl, isn't it? The paint is so wonderful because the pigment, the material that takes to do the pigments is very, very fine. So it works super well on figures and other things other than cells, because it just covers well. And it also has not, pigment being the powders that create those paints. Those cell, I used to have a set of that cell paint that they used in the paint shop. And I absolutely love them because the ingredients were so fine that they covered just about anything and everything. They're just wonderful. So yippee, I'd love to see that. Thank you. Here's mine. So sweet of you. You love seeing my process before and after. Yes. And mistakes, like Jenny has pointed out before, Jenny G has pointed out, that sometimes you make a mistake. So I'm happy to show you my processes and happy to show you. And I need to remember, one of the things is that I remember stuff and then I forget stuff. And it's getting to the point where I get a little bit frustrated. But the idea is, and the reason I'm telling you this is, don't get frustrated. If the ball drops, just consider when you can pick it up and move forward. Okay. I have to go out today. I'm not looking forward to it, and do the drive-through at my bank because I've accumulated I've earned some money, right? And I have to deposit it, and my bank has not yet shown me how to do the phone deposit, and I'm a little concerned about that. So I go in. Plus, I love my bank. Okay. Every single one of those people I know personally. I know who has kids, who doesn't. I know what their aspirations and their dreams are. So it gives me the opportunity to visit with them if I go through the drive-through. Yes, I only get to visit with 2 or 3, but it's very important that I get to visit with them. So even if I did that, I'd never see them, and I really want to see them. I really miss them. Their bank, the walk-in of the bank has been completely locked since February or March. And so the only way I get to see them is through the drive-through. So I wish them well and tell them I love them. And so today I've got to venture out and do that. Plus, now that I'm out of quarantine, I got to figure out what to do for my mother, who's in a convalescent hospital. And I need to find out if her window faces the outside, because I just found out she was moved. So again, all of this stuff coming racing at you now that you're no longer in quarantine. I have to just kind of go like this and see what I catch. So you don't beat yourself up too much if you can't do everything, right? Chess set. Yeah, you mean the Roly Crump chess set. I wrote to him and he wasn't available. So I'm going to have to try. I called him and I'm trying to get his email. So thank you for reminding me. I'm going to call Roly again, and then we will work on this process of this chess set. Because I'll tell you, I'm still Melissa, I'm a little reluctant to make them this big. And I have a feeling Roly's going to tell me we got to. And that means it's going to be extremely expensive. So how many do I do? But if I show you the process of me going through that chess set, perhaps you can, talk to me about what I might do. Like I said before, maybe we sell the pieces individually and then the board is extra. Those of you who want the board, you buy the board. And those of you who don't want the board don't have to. You can display the chess pieces with a certificate of authenticity in there. But they could cost thousands of dollars depending on the size. Seriously, that size could cost bank. So, because I'm doing it for Rowley. And if he wants it to be 5 inches tall, who am I to say no? But then we have to see, is the market out there? So maybe if I did a series of the progress of the chess set, which is a great idea, Melissa, then people could kind of understand whether or not it's worth the money to them and how much. I can't even begin to say how much they would be because my team we need to, manufacture them and everything. At least they don't illuminate. But I will put that down. The Rolly Crump chess set could be a lovely journey. It's a great idea to do for the AMA. Is each week we do the Rolly Crump chess set update. I love that. And then we could do each and every other project, right? So that's a great idea, Melissa. Thank you for that. Bob Berdeen, cool stories of people you got to work with. Gotta love talent. Yes, and talent is cool, isn't it? Thank you, David. Rose Berdeen says she agrees with Bob. Love to hear the stories from when you were in Captain EO with Michael Jackson. Yes, Michael Jackson and I did have some fun times. You have so many great stories. Thank you, Rose. I appreciate that. I want the book. Janny, talk to me about my suitcase and we'll chat. Books. Yes. And as an artist, and I think, Janny, you can agree on this because you're an artist as well, besides Disney books that I come across and collect, and I don't collect every Disney book, so this is why I like to see what you have to offer. The latest book I was told is the 3D book Journey, and I grabbed that immediately because as a kid, I loved 3D so much. I could not wait. I mean, I just was like, I can also show you books that have featured me, magazines that have featured me. I was even in Costco. The Costco magazine you get if you're a member? I was in that too. I'm happy to show you that as well. But like I said, when you're an artist, you collect a lot of books. Okay, so for example, I am a huge Dore fan. It's spelled D-O-R-E with that little thingy at the top. And Dore is one of my absolute favorite. Gustave Doré is one of my favorite artisans, along with Michelangelo. So I have books of Michelangelo. I have gone more into Michelangelo besides his books are the letters from Michelangelo. I managed to find that book. I have Muybridge. I love Muybridge. So if you don't know who Muybridge is, or if you do, I have some Muybridge books. I have lots of books that are of study, are of the joys in my life, are of the excitements. So I also have, those of you who like Star Wars, I had the books from Star Wars that were the first 3 books Star Wars released in 1977 and 1980s. So like I said, I'm a first edition person. I can also tell you I go gaga over the Sistine Chapel. I once spent 3.5 hours just standing in the Sistine Chapel when I backpacked across Europe at 18 years old. I stood in that Sistine Chapel, which was a goal of mine for years, and I did not leave. And my 2 associates that I traveled with wanted to go, but I did not go. I could not leave. And a lot of the books that I bought from there are still really excellent. I brought back so many books when I was 18 that my pack weighed 49.9 pounds. I was allowed 50. And I shipped boxes of books back to my family almost on a weekly basis. And I was there close to 3 months. So I have unusual books. Indeed, I do. Yes, I do. And I love old books. So I can show you all of that if you want to see it. And if you think that's good with an AMA, where I show you what's going on, then we go over to the comments and answer them. As said before, people like to I answer those anyway, so we could do that. Also, do we make it an hour? Do we make it every week, or do we do it every other week? What do we do? Keep letting me know. And I'm going to chat with my husband. I'm going to bounce this off my husband too, as he kind of directs my journey. He kind of helps me with that. And then he checks these and listens to these to help me. Tokyo Disney stories would be wonderful, says Joseph, except for this year. I go there often. I have your current book and are really looking forward to your Star Wars book and hearing more about George Lucas' journey. Okay. Star Wars is always fun, isn't it? I'll always be a fan of Star Wars. See, Janny? Yes. See, Janny painted this great trash can, like a metal trash can. And the minute she painted that, and I just fell in love with it, I said she could help me paint my suitcase. I don't know if I'd paint the suitcase or if it needs to be a sticker, because, because the suitcase could easily go butter side down, as I like to call it. When you drop a piece of toast, the odds are it goes butter side down and it's totally blah. Well, that's what happens with my beautiful Paris bag. Is it goes, but they load it onto conveyor belt to give it to me if I check a bag, and it goes butter side down. So I could do just the border of the suitcase, because a lot of times it rarely comes out on end like that. So maybe I just do the border, Janny. I don't know. I'm so excited to do it, though. I'm excited. So excited to get it. Yeah, I miss you too. Ugh, just craziness. Old books have a certain smell, and it's my favorite smell in the world. It is. And the topics are very interesting too. So I have quite a few that are very unusual. And then I have a book that I bought years ago. And again, this is where mistakes come in. I thought it was an authentic book, and someone had actually ripped out the real center of the books and framed them and sold them separately and put fake ones in. So when I took it to be what's the word? Assessed? No, priced by a professional book person, it turned around and he told me that it had been compromised. So the price I paid for it, I paid a pretty decent price for it, but it wasn't worth what I paid. So you got to be careful. You got to make sure you're with a reputable book dealer. And this was one that was reputable, but not as reputable as I thought, and maybe he was under the impression that it was a good book too. And now it's been compromised. So it's probably not going to be in my collection for much longer, because it breaks my heart to know that someone was, books have a soul, and it just ripped the heart out of it like that was hard for me. So really tough. But yes, they have a certain smell. So anyway, everybody, I know this is kind of a weird Facebook Live today, but I woke up with this on my mind. I don't want to not continue to, to be fun for you guys. I want it to be uplifting. I want it to be something that you tune in, that you share, and that others can enjoy over and over and over again, both on YouTube and on Facebook and whatever other social medias that I try to attend to do. My TikTok, I did my very first TikTok, and I totally don't get it. But at least I posted it. It kind of is it cracked open the ice. I don't, like I said, the social media is always a challenge for me, and I'm very, very proud of myself that I got this far this year. But the journey has to continue as I keep moving forward and try to understand what it is to understand. So, and then again, do I work so hard to understand it? Maybe I just stay in those little areas that I like to stay with: my Instagram, my Facebook, and a touch of Twitter and YouTube. Maybe I don't work so hard to be on every channel, but just a few. So those are other questions that I'm asking myself as well. But as far as the Ask Me Anything, I will have one this Friday. I don't know if I'll change it up, but I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll add a few ingredients and we'll test them out. And you can respond as to whether you like them or not. Okay. I love you guys. I hope you had a lovely weekend. Stay warm, stay safe. I know COVID-19 is driving us all crazy, but let's hang in there, do our due diligence. Help is on the way. And if you're like me, where the Christmas spirit is pretty much this sweater, limited to my sweater, do something nice for someone else and it will give you that Christmas spirit. I'm doing that a lot this month because I don't feel like having a Christmas tree and I don't feel like having presents under it. And I cannot tell you why, other than for some reason it's empty. It's not there. And maybe it's because I haven't seen my dad since February. My mother's in a convalescent hospital. I haven't seen her since February. I can't get with you guys. I can't, maybe it's just I don't feel so Christmassy because I'm not with what I love are the stories from you guys and stuff, right? So how do you combat that? How do you keep from having a melancholy feel when there's beautiful lights and there's excitement and there's joy all around you from people that are really bringing it because they feel this is a way to get that joy? And what I'm saying is give to somebody. Okay, just give. So I am on a tear to donate food, to donate money for food. I want to feed people in my state. There's a lot of people in my state that are struggling, and I want to help them this year. And that is helping me at least to have a good spirit. Okay. So that's why I always say, do something nice for someone else and you'll feel better yourself. Even if it's someone in your immediate, someone close. Like, yeah, I'll show you a couple things that I'm doing and then you guys can see it so that you get the idea of what I'm talking about. Maybe I'll do that on this AMA is show you some things I'm doing for my close neighbors around here that I'll actually get to see. But I love you guys. I miss you guys. And yeah, COVID really sucks. So I'm with you on that. But help is on the way. So let's stay strong. If you need to reach out, let's support each other. And I'm so grateful for all you guys. I'm just so grateful. So grateful. So I am happy to be wearing my Christmas sweaters because it's cold here and I love it. But I am in the mood to donate as much as I can of things that I'm not using around here. So my house is full of piles right now. My husband's looking at me like, what? But he's happy to see it go. He's surprised at how aggressive I am about it. But I really, if I'm not going to use it, I want to get it in the hands of someone who can. And I'm such a freak about keeping stuff pristine. I have got books, you will see, that are so old and they're in such good condition because I'm such a freak about taking such real good care of them. It's funny. I mean, seriously, I am. And it's a funny thing about that. So I love you guys. And I'll share this. Thank you for your ideas. Keep them coming, okay? Because whatever I can do to help your day be better, I want to do it. Okay? All right. My heart, I love you. Let's look at a few things, as you guys say. Do a TikTok dance. Yes, that seems to be the only thing that they do. I know, antique furniture. Do you like it? I have a ton I could really love to sell. I've got an antique portable Murphy bed that is absolutely fabulous. It is a portable, not a full Murphy. It's a portable Murphy bed that my stepson used to sleep in till he got too big for it. Hugs and loves. Motions whether we want to or not. Exactly. It's called, Melissa, very well said, act as if, and you will feel it. You will indeed feel it. Hearts to you, Stephen. Thank you so much. I am a people person. I love people. They're my species, as they say in Harold and Maude. That's another movie I like. Hopefully things will get better normal soon and you can see your friends and family. Joseph, I want to see you all. It's like you want to say, are you in California? Let's all meet at Disneyland. You know, that's what you want to say. Let's meet at Disneyland. Let's sit around, have a Coke or a coffee or something, and just shoot the breeze until they close. Soon, soon. I'm going to stay positive soon. Absolutely, Bob. Hang on, we can do this. Absolutely, Connie. Love antiques. We'll talk antiques, Deanna. I have some great ones. Would you like to see my antiques collection? I'm happy to show you. I love you so much. We'll talk to you soon. Take care. Thank you for all of your suggestions. Keep them coming.